Are you feeling overwhelmed by debt? You're not alone. I'm going to show you how to get out of it. In this episode of Money Made Simple, we're going to discuss all things debt and the best payoff methods, the best strategies to stay motivated, and common mistakes that people make to stay stuck in that debt cycle. My name is Matt. I'm the host of the Financial Foundation. Let's get into it. So let's first talk about good debt and bad debt and what the difference is. So bad debt is debt that you charge on like a credit card to buy a new outfit, or you put a vacation on your credit card, or you get a loan to buy a car, right? Those things are depreciating assets. They don't make you any money. Those would be considered bad debt. So, what is good debt? Good debt is when you use debt, like a loan, to purchase an asset that makes you money. In particular, it will make you more money than what you owe monthly on that debt. So, for example, a lot of people use rental real estate as an example of good debt. That is very true. If your monthly mortgage payment is less than the amount of money you have coming in for rent, and you're cash flowing positively, that is good debt. Okay. If you, in the same sense, it can also work with cars. If you buy a car using debt and you lease them out to people on Toro, and that ends up making you money more so than your note, that's good debt. How to organize and prioritize your debts? That's a fantastic question. And I'm going to answer that in a second because I want to first discuss different payoff methods to help you understand what is important to you. Everybody's debt is going to be different. And it's really, for me, more personality wise. And so in debt, there's two different types of payoff methods. One's called the snowball and one's called the avalanche. The snowball method works on paying the lowest debt balance, regardless of the interest rate, first, and then work your way down. You add that payment to the next debt, right? And the slightly bigger one, and you work your way up to the largest debt. This is great for people who want quick wins and who want to just feel like they've chipped away at their debt. This is an amazing strategy. And in most cases, this is where I have personally seen the most successful people pay off debts using the snowball method. Whereas the avalanche method takes takes the highest interest rate and pays that debt off first. So whatever your debt is, doesn't matter um, what the balance is, whatever the highest interest rate is, that would be the debt you pay off first. This would in turn save you a lot of money on interest payments. So that's the difference between the snowball and the avalanche method. And to go back to how to organize and prioritize your debts, that's really a personal question on, do you want to take the quick wins and whittle it down, or are you a stickler and you want to pay the least amount of interest to these banks? So that is totally up to you. I don't think there's a better or worse option. I think if you're in any type of debt repayment strategy is better than no repayment strategy. So take that as you will. Um, I personally like the snowball method. I think I like those quick wins. I like feeling that little quick hit of dopamine and being like, yeah, cool, I paid it off. Sweet, I can go to the next one. Okay, what do you do if you're behind on your payments? So if you're behind on payments, it depends on how far. You're gonna get late notices, you're gonna get interest fees or late fees, things like that as well. If you're a few months behind down payments, you're gonna probably start getting letters from either the lender and or a collection agency. So, and they are going to start wanting to figure out how they're going to get their money back. So if you're, of course, able to get caught up, that's great. Um, if you're unable to get caught up, then there are a few options. And once you're in collections, that's an awful feeling, awful place to be in. I've been in it, and it's probably the most stressful time because every time your phone rings, it's a debt collector. It's someone asking you, "Hey, when are you gonna pay us? When are you gonna pay us? When you need to pay us now?" Making you feel so shitty. So there are two things you can get if you can qualify for a 0% interest credit card to transfer all the balances over. Great option. There's 18-month or 21-month, and 15 months. Sorry, I said that in the total the wrong order. 15-month, 18-month, and 21-month 0% interest personal credit cards that you can get. I believe there's with Discover, Citi, Wells Fargo has a good one, Bank of America has a good one. I'm sure Capital One has one. So those would be great first steps. If you can make, here's the caveat to that, if you are confident that you can pay off the balance during that time period, so whether it's 15, 18th, or 21, that is a great strategy. Another strategy, if you are deeper in collections and you have a lot of debts, I would highly recommend a debt consolidation service company who will handle all the negotiating, all the payments to the collection agencies, and really streamline the process. The phone calls will stop, so you're not having to feel so harassed all the time. And I mean, for me, mindset is everything. And so if you constantly have someone on your phone, like calling you every day, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 times a day, and like, you owe us money, you owe us money, you can't get into a positive frame of mind where you're like, how can I fix this? It's just like, it sucks that motivation right out of you. So if you are in that situation, a debt consolidating service is a great option. Let's see. How to stay consistent when it feels hopeless. Oh man. So so many people I know have been in this situation. I personally have been in this, and it's so demoralizing, and it's a terrible feeling to just feel like you're drowning in this debt cycle, right? You're just drowning in it. And no matter what you do, it feels like you're unable to claw out. Um, the best thing you can do is you have to flip your perspective. You have to be like, okay, this does not define me. I am going to be on top of my budget. I am going to be making these regular payments. I'm going to be trying to increase my income. I'm going to be trying to lower every expense I can until I get caught up. And even before you start paying off debt, I highly recommend getting having an emergency fund of at least $1,000 to $1,500, just because when you're in this process, something inevitably happens. You get a major bill, something bad happens that you need money, and that just brings you down. It's like a giant boulder just coming back down on top of you. So get an emergency fund put together, start paying off your bills, manage your budget, reduce your expenses, try and increase your income, get a second job, side hustle, something that you can do to keep your head above water and be consistent. Ignore the collection agencies, or if you have a debt collection service, do what you can. What are they, at the end of the day, what can they do? You do what you can do and what you can manage. And as long as you're moving in the right direction, then good on you. That's all you got to worry about. You got to worry about your mindset and moving forward. Okay. We can't keep on looking behind us. You got to look forward. So, should you pay off debt before savings or investing? You should definitely have a savings. You should definitely have an emergency fund before you start paying off debt full throttle. So definitely have, as I said, at least $1,000 to $1,500. 1 month's worth of expenses is ideal in this situation if you don't have a savings, but to start, 1,000 to 1,500. Then every other dollar goes to paying off your debt. If your current employer offers a 401k match, I personally would not. I would personally keep on investing into that match program the minimum amount you can to get the maximum match. That way you are constantly still investing. You're not going to feel it as much, but you're not seeing it. It's just going into this account for you. I'm a big believer that you should do. Don't stop it. Um, but other investing, like taking extra money to go and be like, oh, I'm going to buy crypto, or I'm going to go buy this new stock that's supposed to be really cool. No, you're not doing that type of investing. You are merely paying off your debts to try and get ahead and become debt free. How to avoid new debt while paying off the old. This is one of those, I mean, this is something that's happened to me while I was going through my debt payoff cycle. And you'd have a couple good months, and before I knew about having an emergency fund, all my money was going to pay off my debt. And next thing, you get a medical bill, your car breaks down, and you're just like, what? I Now I can't pay my debt, so off I got to do this, and now you're backtracking. So the biggest thing I could say is, before you start going into your debt payoff phase, you get into your emergency fund saving phase. It's important. And yeah, that may take some time to build up that $1,000 or $1,500 or that first month's worth of expenses, but I promise you it is worth it. So that would be my tip to avoid new debt while paying off the old. Simple sorry, it's late here, guys. Simple mindset shifts that make paying off debt easier. So mindset is key, right? If you're stressed out all the time, it's not a great feeling. You can't live like that. So going through this whole process, you're looking for those small wins. And this is why I like the snowball method, because you get to see things happening much faster than you would typically with the avalanche method. And those small wins feel so good. And with that in your mind, and you have the motivation and the like gusto to keep on going. So celebrate those small wins. Celebrate the plan. Celebrate taking action. Any win you can muster, do it. You got a side gig. You made an extra few $100 this week. Celebrate it. You found an expense that you're like, wait, I can save money on this, on my insurance, on my cell phone, on my subscriptions. Celebrate them all. Okay. Bring yourself up. And if you want to celebrate, put it in the comments and tell me what you're celebrating. And I'll comment back, give you a high five, virtual high five. There you go. Celebrate the small wins. How to track progress and build momentum. So this is done with a couple ways. You can make a spreadsheet with it. I actually do have a link to a really cool visual spreadsheet crafter that tracks debt and debt payoffs. It's in my bio if you guys want it, but you can very simply uh, build one on Sheets or Excel. I can make a video on kind of how to do that in another video, but this one's not for that. But yeah, Excel is fine. And there's even debt payoff calculators. I believe it's calculator.net you can go to, and um, they have amazing debt payoff calculators. I believe they do use the Avalanche method. And so, but it's still a great visual and gives you a timeline and shows you how to make your payments. And so there's a lot of free resources out there. I'll put the link in the description below so you guys can check that out as well. Mistakes to avoid when trying to become debt free. So, mistakes to avoid, one is not being prepared to get on this journey, fully prepared, meaning you don't really have your budget down. You're you didn't eliminate all your expenses. You're not going in at full force. To pay off, truly pay off debt and to flip to flip the script on your financial situation, that requires you to go in 100%. And that may not be the person you were yesterday. That may not be the person you were for the last 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. But the day you are ready to pay off your debts and make this financial shift in your life, this energy shift, and take control of your finances, that's the day where you're like, I'm becoming financially educated and I'm going to learn everything I can on how to make my money work for me and not work so hard for my money. And it is a commitment. It takes discipline, lots of discipline. And you're going to have good days and you're going to have bad days, just like everybody else with it. There's going to be hiccups, there's going to be miss or surprise expenses that you got to deal with. And so today's the day, though. Today's the day you take action and you start changing the way you look at your finances. You start owning your finances. You start taking ownership of your money. Okay. So remember, subscribe to the channel. I'm dropping new videos every week. I'm dropping daily shorts to help give quick tips. We are starting a new interview process where you can actually hear from some amazing minds of entrepreneurs and their struggles and their successes and get to learn from them. But you also have me. So I'm 38 years old. I've literally been through it. I spent my teens and my mid 20s struggling with debt. I owed about 30 grand in credit card debt, and I couldn't even get a secured credit card at the time. I had collection agencies calling me multiple times a day. And I had to not only make a decision to take control of my finances, but also my life. And I have to say, and it took me about 4 years to go from a 400 credit score to over a 720, where I was able to buy my first rental property. Then the next year, bought my second. The third year, I was able to buy my mom a home. And then the fourth year, me and my wife were able to buy our dream home. And we've been able to invest and keep living, traveling. And I want to share this strategy and this mentality for you guys. I'm no one special. And if I can do it, I'm a high school dropout. Like I'm seriously nobody special. Well, I am special to me, but I'm a normal, average person. And if I can do it, I know you guys can too. So I hope this video has been insightful and helps you guys. It would mean a lot to me if you guys subscribe to the channel, send it to a friend who needs to hear this. Comment below what you're struggling with financially, or just comment and tell me your wins. Let's celebrate them. You want someone to celebrate them with? Here, virtual high fives. Let's do this. Let's make it happen. Let's get you debt free. All right, guys. See you on the next video. Have a great one.